All right, guys. So this is going to be a video over using AI to scan storefronts. I know we talked about it on the last call on Thursday, and I told Chi-Town I'd make her a kind of a general prompt to give Claude when you're using it. So I did build this storefront stalking prompt. It's very general, very basic. It just includes and goes over some of the things of like what I would recommend when starting out as a newer to middle seller, not someone who's super experienced, but someone and not someone who's like I think people who are right off the bat could start using it. Essentially, all you're really going to need is a Claude Chrome extension. So just Google Claude extension, and you'll download that, and you'll go to the preferred storefront. I just searched up a random storefront, so I took this one, and all you're going to do is you're going to go to your extensions at the top. You're going to click Claude, and this will pull up. And I like to do act without asking down here. So essentially, instead of it, every time it wants to perform something, it's going to ask you to do it, and you just have to click allow, and you just have it do act without asking, and it makes it 10 times easier. And I just like doing that. It's not going to do anything. You can't take over your computer. The only thing it has access to is up here in this little MCP it built for you. So all you're really going to do is take all this and copy it. This is very general, and I think it's important to know that Claude extension right here will have no access to your account. You have to have the membership, I think, to have the extension because you have to sign into your account and all that. But it has no access. It does not know who you are. Like the Claude app on your desktop has no relevance to the extension on your computer. So every time you start with Claude, it has no idea who you are. So you have to give it a very like general understanding. Like in the prompt, it says, I do online arbitrage, skim the storefront, and cut the dead weight, So all you're going to do is act without asking, paste it, and enter. So it will instantly start scanning through the storefront and browse all the available products. It takes screenshots, analyzes all the products, stuff like that, and it does exactly what you want. I'm going to make this doc right here to where you guys can make a copy of it. It's not going to be editable, but you can make a copy of it and add your own little tweaks if you want. This is very general. This is what I would recommend for anyone who's kind of in the middle of it right now, like medium. It does take a while for it to scan the storefront. So I was at this other storefront back here, and I had Claude scan it and go ahead. And this storefront has 335 ASINs, and it took me 9 minutes and 54 seconds, or it took Claude minutes and 54 seconds to scan through it, and it didn't even go through all of it. It just went through the first page of all of these products right here. So it scanned them in 10 minutes, which is a lot of ASINs. It says it did, let's see, ASINs worth sourcing. How many did it scan? It didn't really specify. So it did 335 ASINs is the storefront across 5 pages. So that's about 67 ASINs. And all I had to do was it'll just spit you out a bunch of ASINs worth sourcing based off the prompt. Like I said, too, I've tested it only a little bit. I haven't done it too extensively into too much research in depth. So I don't know how great it's going to perform, but this is just kind of like what I think it would do and how I think it would personally do well just from a little bit of sourcing that I've done with it. All you're really going to do is it's going to give you these ASINs right here on the right. You just copy them, and then you can either Control F right here, and it'll pull it up for you. Or if you want, you could just open a new Seller Amp tab. So I would just duplicate the page and then go to Seller Amp at the top and paste it like that. And it would pull up as well for you to source it. So pretty easy. I don't know if Tony's is by Disney. It doesn't say the brand is Disney, but this is Disney. I did have it go through, and some of the rules and things I set for it was if Amazon owns a buy box or Amazon owns a listing, cut the product. When you're starting out, it's really hard to compete with Amazon, and sometimes you can, but it's just not worth the headache in going through it, in my opinion. I also had it say the buy box, cut it out if the price is under $15. We don't want to be selling low ticket items. They're a waste of time, in my opinion. You want to be selling products where you're making at least a little bit of profit. If it's a massive or hard-gated brand like Nike, Under Armour, On Cloud, Milwaukee, Adidas, Lululemon, Dyson, Lego, etc., any really big brand, you probably want to stay away from them when you're starting out because you're probably not likely going to be ungated. We don't want the BSR to be above 3% or over 500K. We want a little bit of demand there. The buy box or the lowest FBA, FBM price dropped sharply in the last 7 days. We don't want that because that probably means there's been an influx of sellers, which therefore drops the buy box. And when there's more competition, it's harder to sell. So when you look at seller rep, it's just analyzing this. There's not a lot of data to go off of the Keepa, but then again, it's using just a little bit of it. And then if the offer count is high, so there's 15 or more sellers, we don't want that as well. I think you'd be all right with it. Personally, you could probably change that to like 40 sellers. Let me actually change that right now because I think 15 or more is a little low. The margin room, buy box too low versus max cost. We want at least a little bit of margin. And then, yeah, it just spits out the ASINs we're sourcing. What to review on the storefront if it wasn't sure about any of the ASINs based off the data it pulled. Yeah, just a little something to give you a good view of. And then when you're sourcing storefronts, it can kind of be hard. Like all it really works is if you find a good storefront, go through all those ASINs, and then any of the profitable ASINs you pull, you can just go to that product. So let's just say, for example, this Jellycat Bartholo whatever bear was profitable, and I went to it. I could just look at the seller amp on the right side of the screen. This will work. Let's see. And then I can see that, like, here's all these offer counts. So like I could probably do my storefront stalking from here. So I know this is a profitable product. I know there's a good amount of competition. This is all hypothetical. And so I know these people on here are probably going to be pretty good at sourcing. So I'd want to look through all these people. Like this guy right here is probably not someone who I'd want to source from, but someone here like with 5 stars, 12 reviews, probably not anybody because this guy doesn't have any reviews. This guy, maybe. I recommend sourcing storefronts anywhere from 5 reviews to 150-ish. I think 300 you'd be fine, but it's just a little bit risky. You'd probably be better off sourcing someone like maybe right here. This guy's probably good. Let's go look at this guy. And then you just click on the storefront and it'll pull up. I think another thing worth mentioning that's really important, maybe not because this guy's still on Nike. I don't know why SellerAmp does this. But I think another thing that's really important, worth mentioning, is that it takes a little bit of time for your Claude to scan it. Like, because as you can see here, oh, he did it right here. First 9 have full data. So I don't know why he didn't go through the rest, but, this guy too right here, he said at the end, he said, want me to go to the next page too. So like, I could just give him a command like, yes, do not stop until you've sourced all of the products, and click on the next page until you complete all 5 pages and scan through all of the 335 ASINs on this storefront. Go. And then it's probably going to do that. You just have to be a little, because the extension's really like finicky. You just have to be a little bit more direct with it. So like you just like go through every storefront. I could actually even add that in the prompt. But I do want to emphasize, it is worth mentioning that you can do this in multiple, like you can have multiple Claudes running at the same time. Like I have this storefront going, I have this storefront and this Claude going. So you could just stack, like as soon as you find a storefront and run a command while that's running and you have 10 minutes, you're like, I don't know what to do for 10 minutes. You could just source another storefront and then get Claude running on that. And you could just stack. You could have like 10 storefronts across your browser. And then once the first one's done, you're going through it. And by the time you're probably complete with that, the other 9 are done. And you can just keep going and you'll have tons of ASINs to review. This is just something that is going to cut out a lot of the work. It's not something to find you exact profitable products, but it's something that will help you with cutting out a lot of like the stale stuff. Maybe that's like seasonal that people have stuck in stock, or whether it's something that's like wholesale, private label, anything like that there are storefronts like with mixed listings. It's just something to help you cut out a lot of the dead weight and focus on some listings that may be worth going through. So I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. I'm here for you. Steve's here for you. And yeah, it was good showing you guys this video. See you later.